Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. We're going to be talking about classics, classic effects. I'm going to do a series of 3 videos. Card classics, parlor classics, and stage classics. In each video, I'm going to give you some characteristics of what a classic is. They're pretty much going to be the same from video to video, but there's going to be some variation. Today, we're talking about classic card effects. So what is a classic? In general, what is a classic? It creates mystery or astonishment for children and adults. Now that's a very high bar. There are many magic effects out there that can create a sense of astonishment for adults. But kids, no idea. There are many effects out there that can entertain kids, but adults leave the room. A classic holds everyone. A classic goes across generational lines. Number 2, a classic can be performed, a card classic now. Stage, parlor, that's different. A card classic, you should be able to do that close up for one person or in a parlor situation for a group of people, in my opinion. Now, if you ask 10 magicians to define what a classic is, you'll probably get 10 different definitions. I'm giving you mine. Number 2, the plot is simple. You select a card, the magician finds a card. You select a card, it's shuffled back in the deck, the card rises. The plot is simple. Number 3, the plot is visual. It's visual. People can see what's going on. They can see the magic. They don't have to think about it. It's relatively easy to perform, which leaves you to concentrate on your presentation. Now, I know some of you card guys out there are going to go like, oh, come on, man. Some of the best magic is difficult, man. It takes years to practice and perfect. I'm saying, let me give you an example. Brainwave. Or the Chicago opener, whichever. Because the Chicago opener depends a little bit more on sleight of hand. But either one of those, man, I'm telling you, they kill an audience. They just love it. And it's not hard to do. Relatively easy to perform, which leaves you to concentrate on your presentation. And finally, time-tested. Time-tested. And I'm talking about 25 to 100 years. That's what makes something a classic. If something was invented last year, it might be wonderful, but I'm not comfortable calling it a classic until a number of magicians have used it in their repertoire over a long period of time and have demonstrated that that effect goes across personality lines. It's not just personality driven. That's a classic. Now let me give you some examples. By the way, Denny, my mentor, advised every up-and-coming magician to learn the classics. To learn the classics first before doing anything else. Now let me give you some of my card classics. I talked about Brainwave already. The card rise. Now there's tons of different variations on the card rise out there. But the basic plot, a card is selected. Maybe 2, maybe 3 cards are selected. They're shuffled back into the deck. The deck is set aside or maybe held in the hand, doesn't matter. The cards rise one at a time. Oh man, let me tell you something. If you've ever performed the card rise, you will never stop. I mean, the audiences love that. Card rise. Cards across. Zens is probably the most classic. There's tons of different cards across that. The basic plot is this. Cards are selected. They're shuffled back or they're put back in an envelope. They're isolated. And they travel from one place to another. Cards across. Card stab. My favorite is Bob Sheets. I think that is the pinnacle of the card stab. But, you could look at Nat Lepsic, for example. Nate Lepsic, he would shuffle selected cards back in the deck. He would hold the deck, stab, split where the card was stabbed, and it's right there at the selection. That's astounding, too. I love the idea of a blindfolded magician holding a long dagger, stabbing a knife on the table, stabbing a table, and getting a card, getting the selected card. I love that idea. To me, that's the card stab. Card to wallet. Tommy Mullica's Card to Wallet is probably the classic in this genre. And finally, Out of This World, Paul Curry. You do any one of those tricks, I'm telling you, those are classics, they work. Folks, that's my opinion. A lot of you guys, I'm not a card guy, by the way. I'm not a card guy. I do card tricks. Probably 25% of my repertoire is card magic. But it's these. I'm not doing knuckle breaking stuff. I'm not doing elaborate sleight of hand. I'm doing the card rise. I'm doing cards across. I'm doing the card stab. I'm doing these effects because of the impact they have on my audience. Now I want to hear from you guys. What is a classic? Define it for me and tell me what you think the best card magic is. The classic card tricks. Comment down below. I love your comments. Please subscribe if you've not done so already. Have a great day, everyone.